Hi, I do know that some of you are under duress here. That if you were not required to get this ACCA certificate, you would never have sat this exam. But this chapter is actually fun because it talks about the analysis of situation. So this means that this is something that you will use at least someday in your professional life. Well, I don't expect you to be working as cleaners, right? So you will work with business and stuff. So yes, you will. Now, we are going to talk about external environment. And why is it is so important? Well, because we need to analyze the environment in order to understand our current strategic position and develop future strategies. So what we can do. And also, the external environment is a source of opportunity. So let's say if the government is trying to subsidize something, then it's an opportunity for us. And threat, because maybe there is harsh competitive environment and it is a threat of competitors. And that can influence our ability as organization to function. Changes in the environment would mean that we need to respond. So we will need to take advantage of opportunities. We need to protect ourselves from threats. Okay, so what is the external environment? We are going to talk about macro environment. So that is something that happens within, let's say, the whole market. Industry or sector, like hotel industry is blooming, airlines are blooming, and so on. Then within this industry or within this sector, we are going to look at competitors and markets, and then there will be organization. So these are the level of external environment. So once again, macro environment includes broad factors which could affect business. So political factors, economic, like recession in the country. Technological change, like for example, that more and more chargers for cars, for electric cars, are being installed. We are going to assess those with the use of pastel analysis that we are going to talk about in a second. There could be microenvironmental factors. So they relate to factors which affect our company's ability to operate effectively in its chosen industry or market sector. So the key factors are going to be customers, competitors, distributors, suppliers. So all of them impact on whatever we are doing, not how the industries do, no, but because this is our customers, our suppliers, they have direct effect on our business. And we are going to use Porter's five forces. And why is it important to understand the model and know what models to choose? Well, in this exam, we don't have these huge signposts that are going to say, apply this model. Now, we will need to look at the requirement and the model, the right model should pop up. Fantastic. Now, when we're talking about the environment, it is the driver of change. So our industries will need to take advantage of opportunities which arise, and we need to respond to threats. So changes in external environment are going to be drivers of change, drivers of the change in strategy. So for example, maybe before we would try to work out a petrol engine that would be the most economical. But now we see that external environment has changed. So maybe we should scrap the project and start working out how to produce cars with electric drive. Okay. So that is something that we need to do. But sometimes we just like to do whatever we are good at. We like to continue our practice that has served us so well in the past years. And what could happen is strategic drift. So this means that the company changes, but the level of change is not enough. consider Kodak company. You do remember that when you were a kid, or maybe before you were born, there were many people with these film cameras, and Kodak was everywhere. But they didn't adapt to change. They didn't acknowledge that there is going to be not film photos, but these electronic photos. And where do we have Kodak now? Is it listed? Is it? No? Are there any people? Well, they are people, yes, but the company has shrunk in size. That is because they were not able to follow the strategic drift. Not follow the changes in the environment, and they had the strategic drift. If you go to McDonald's, you will see that they have not only greasy burgers, but they have some fresh, some kind of healthy meal options like salads there and maybe yogurts, well, depending on the country. So they have adapted to the change in taste, to the change in their environment, and they said, okay, we opened as a burger company, now we're going to change. Great. Well, Coca-Cola, before that, they had ingredient that is not now not legal. They have changed that. So yes, and now, oh, Nokia. Yes, I used to have Nokia as a mobile phone, and it was superb. Where is Nokia now in the phone market? So when we are going to look at macro environment, we're going to look at pastel analysis. That is not a rocket science here. So we are going to look at political factors, like, for example, what countries is our country friendly with? So maybe there are some tax treaties, maybe there are some customs, there are no borders, no customs border, so we are going to trade. That is why when we take Canary Island, they are not in the same custom union as the rest of the European Union and Spain are. So actually, for an exporter, for a company that works in the European Union, they don't really want to ship their goods to Canary Island because it's different customs zones, so they will have to fill in to mess with these customs declarations and so on. So they just don't trade with them. The next is economic. So is there a recession? Is there a problem in economic or not? We are going to talk about the cost of our resources. Like, for example, maybe the labor is becoming cheaper, or taxes are cheaper, or there is going to be some tax benefit in some area. Social, well, for example, if we are going to take Norway, people hike there a lot. So social factors raise the demand for hiking boots, for hiking jackets, and so on. So there are many producers of good stuff for hiking. Same in Germany, but maybe not as much in France, right? Technological. So the changes in technological environment would be important because they will give us opportunities. Like, for example, now we have electric chargers everywhere, so we can produce electric scooters, electric cars. Or that may be a threat because the technology is going to become obsolete. So, for example, when they ban the production of certain level of plastics. Environmental or ecological. So, for example, there is going to be a change in law that is going to limit the production of CO2, and that will make our business require our business to change as well. And legal. So, some laws may make something capable of being activity that is going to be legal to be provided or not. Well, for example, when we are talking about, let's say, selling cigarettes to a certain age, well, that is going to be the change that is going to impact the size of the market. Yeah, so we're going to look at all the changes that are abbreviated as pastel. And that is the checklist that we use to analyze external environment. And basically what you would need to do, you would just need to read the scenario and see what is that sticking out there and try to categorize it under one of the captions. Now, national environment. Oh, that is actually fun. So when we're talking about different countries, they provide different opportunities and threats, different possibilities. So we do know that there are some countries that, let's say, are proud of their hiking boots manufacturing, right? Production. Or there are some countries that have a great, let's say, cosmetics products and so on. So how come that some countries are experts in something? Oh, okay. So if you don't know who's the guy who has invented a model that is used in ACCA, well, that probably would be Porter. So this person has come up with a diamond that explains why certain countries thrive in some areas and some not. So first of all, we are going to look at home demand conditions. So what is the demand that we have at home? Okay, so for example, if we are a country that has mountains, so maybe hiking boots would be important there. If we are a big country and we need airlines in order to fly back and forth, so maybe our airplanes can also fly to some other countries, so we can excel as airline industry, like whatever happens with Lufthansa. Or maybe we are a former colony and we have our we had former colonies all around the world, including Australia, and now we have our citizens or their descendants that live elsewhere, so we need to fly there. So that's why British Airways comes to thrive. We are going to look at related and supporting industries because they will make our product possible, because they will give us the workforce that we need, and that is great. So, for example, when we're talking about pharmaceutical companies, maybe there will be some industries that make some pharmaceutical research together, or maybe some medical equipment. So supporting industries will help us in terms of the infrastructure that is there, and also they are going to help us in terms of labor. We are going to look at factor condition. So what is that we have there? Well, maybe if we have so much gold, then we are going to look at the gold production, something that is made with gold. Maybe if we have labor that is very intelligent, then we will produce something that requires labor and requires knowledgeable labor. Maybe if we have lots of labor that is low skilled but very cheap, then we will organize some production there. And finally, we are going to look at firm strategy, structure, and rivalry. That is going to depend on how well the company is, the prospects of the company in this very industry. Now, as for the structure, if the company is quoted, it can have access to huge capital, right? Because it can just issue shares. So it will be able to expand. If the company is unquoted, then probably its goals are going to be more long-term. If the rivalry in this very country is super strong, then companies they have learned how to be the most efficient, the most effective. So they will be able to export because they are so good, they're so efficient. It also will depend on the rivalry, on the connections with the customer. So, for example, when Starbucks was opened first in the USA, there were no rivals. So there were some cafes, there are some coffee shops, but they were minor. They didn't have much of customer loyalty and so on. So they did great there. But when they tried to invade Europe, then they realized that there actually a culture of coffee drinking is much stronger and people are much more used to the local coffee shops that they had there, and it was harder for Starbucks to survive in here. Another thing that is important to notice is for the factor conditions, we can have some basic factors and advanced factors. So basic factors are those factors like natural resources, like climate. Like, for example, in Sweden, they have servers that are there for major companies, like for Facebook, because it is cold there. So they put servers there because they are naturally cold. And when we're talking about, let's say, Iceland, it has hot underground resources. So they have these basic conditions to melt aluminium because the temperatures there are so high in the ground, not outside. As for advanced factors, that is infrastructure, communication, higher education, skilled employees. So that is something that has to be developed, not was just there for granted. And that is porous diamond. So you will need to understand the components of the diamond, and they are listed here for you to read. So yes, take your time. And you will need to talk about how this model is important. Yay! And in the next video, we are going to talk about industry and sector environment. And I will see you next.